not allow them to be sent back home and all that. So there's this response from the Home Office. So I'm going to be reading it. I'm going to be reading. Please, as you're joining, please tap on the likes, tap on the likes, tap on the likes. So so I'll be sharing it and also be you know, going through it on my screen so that I can all see it. So let's go ahead to break it down. So the main thing was for people not to be told to leave the UK, for people not to leave the UK if their sponsorship visa got cancelled. So now look at it. And this is the response. It says, and this is the petition. The petition was allow people to stay in the UK if their employer's sponsor license is withdrawn. But a response from the UK government, I've broken it down so you can be able to read along. It said sponsored work visas allow people into the UK for a set time to do specific jobs for a sponsor. Linking visas to sponsors provide safeguards, but immigrants are free to apply on another basis. So what this simply means is that just like any sponsored work visas, it allows people to come into the country, you know, for a specific period of time. So, and if you might want to ask, oh, who is a sponsor? And that's why I opened this link at the back for you to know who a sponsor is. A sponsor is a company, an organization that is backed by law, the UK government law. So a sponsor is a registered company or corporate organization within the UK which has been assigned the privilege to request for a certificate of sponsorship for prospective employees of that of for that company. So you have, that's the company. Please, if you can't be on the live again and you can't be able to tap now, tap, 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 so that we have more people to join. Share the video. So a company continues to have this privilege so long it is bound by the laws and policies of the UK. A company can lose its standing. So that's ways that a company can lose standing. You know, a company can lose its standing either as a corporate organization in the UK or the privilege to request for certificate of sponsorship from the Home Office if it is confirmed after investigation that they have engaged in criminal actions, e.g., tax evasion or fraud. So that means, regardless of if it is COS or anything, if you are in the UK, you are a registered company, and you, how do I say it, and you are caught to have maybe you're caught to have evaded maybe tax evasion and all this stuff or fraud, they can withdraw your, just like any country, they can withdraw your license of being able to practice, regardless of if it's a COS or anything. So now, so now we have established that one. So sponsors, dependent visa like student visas and work visas. This is me talking. So and again, this is a disclaimer. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an immigration lawyer. I'm just reading based on what they replied as the UK government Home Office, what they've replied and what it means. That's what I'm doing now. So sponsor dependent visas like student visas and work visas are for safeguarding against crime and antisocial behavior. So for example, if you know that people that come into the country for maybe studies, you have something we call certificate of acceptance of studies. That's they call it CAS. So CAS and COS is just the same thing. So it's more like saying there's a company before not everybody even in the government, not every company in the UK has certificate of sponsorship, like has that certificate to be able to request for that. You should have been in good standing with the government before they can grant you the access. So what I'm trying to say is it's just like saying some people are coming to this country and they want to be able to be sure that okay, we can be able to put this person and under a particular organization and coverage so that whenever we are looking for this person, we know that we can get he or she or they or whatever pronouns they are using right now, we can get them from this organization. So if it's a school, so you realize that for students that are on, you realize that when you now have what do you call it? When you have people during school, They will tell you, okay, if you must have your attendance. So it's a way of checking, it's a way of safeguarding. They want to be sure that they know you. You can't just get into this into the country and you don't come for classes, you don't come for lectures, you can't come for anything. They will just tell the home office that we can't find this person. So it's more like a safeguarding concern, so much a way to be able to monitor and be able to track, track you and know wherever you are at a particular point in time. So that is that. So I'm just giving an example. So let's continue with the response from the home office. So look at the response. Anywhere you see a quotation, that's I'm quoting it directly, verbally from the letter. The sponsorship is a fundamental element of many of our work migration routes. When someone applies for a sponsored work visa, they must have a job offer from a sponsoring employer, which has been licensed by the Home Office, and their visa is granted for a limited time for them to work in that specific job for that specific sponsor. So there it is restricted, like you are bound to work for that person, for that organization, and for that job. So this implies that there is a time limit for each sponsorship or work visa approval. It might be a year or up to 5 years. At the end of this period, the person issued the visa might leave the UK, get another job offer from the same company or another company, and get another certificate of sponsorship or apply for another immigration route. So some people can go from this point also. So some people can go from this point to apply for the permanent right of residence, which is commonly called ILR. So as indefinitely leave to remain. So the thing is, regardless of because even if you are given a COS that is maybe for a year, 2 years, 3 years, or any number of years, 5 years, it means at the end of that period, you will leave or you apply for another route. So it is not like it is a time based. So it is not like it is endless. So let's continue. So continuation with the rest. So this approach exists for good reason. This the home office again. For good reason. It provides an assurance the worker will fill a genuine role in the workforce for a genuine employer. It ensures they will be working an occupation that's eligible for sponsorship and will be paid an appropriate salary, which ensures they will earn enough to support themselves without access to public funds. It also means that the sponsor must accept the obligation of sponsorship, including abiding by all relevant employment law, helping to safeguard migrant workers from unscrupulous employers. Now, let's break this down. This is me explaining my own understanding, what you have written. This implies that the employer or sponsor must maintain a healthy work to staff employee ratio. That means you must have a number of employee and the number of job that's supposed to be doing. It is guarded. So like how many employees do you have, and what is the job work, the job role that the job function that they are supposed to carry out? Is it going to be too burdensome for them? So that is another part. So let's continue. And again, there has been a talk about when people come into the country, and even the, the companies, the employers don't have jobs to give them. They don't have jobs to give these people. Like they will just realize that people will be there and they will say, "I've been here. They don't give me shift. They don't give me all that." So that's been going on. So let's just continue with the response. Sponsorship is a privilege, not a right. Can you see now? When a sponsor is granted a license, significant trust is placed in them. With that trust comes responsibility to act in accordance with our immigration laws, wider UK law, including employment law, and the wider public good. The Home Office has a duty to ensure all sponsors discharge this duty responsibility that a sponsor's actions or missions do not pose a risk to immigration control. Where a sponsor fails to fulfill their duties, we will investigate the circumstances. This may result in the sponsor agreeing to an action plan, having their license suspended, or having their license revoked through an action license revoked. We will look at all the evidence produced and take action against those who seek to abuse the immigration system. Those found operating unlawfully may face prosecution or removal from the sponsorship register. Now, this is me now saying this. This is what I call stating the obvious. Just like, it is obvious. They're stating the obvious now. For people saying rights and privilege is the same thing, go and carry dictionary. Since you sabi people, it's not a funny thing. You know, it's a bit English, pass them now. But the truth is, a right is something that cannot be legally denied, such as the right to free speech, press, religion, and raising a family. A privilege is something that can be given and taken away and is considered to be a special advantage or opportunity that is available only to certain people. Maybe you don't know. To have to be a citizen, now for example, I don't know where some people are connecting from, but I'm a citizen of Nigeria. Okay, you can't you can't remove my right of being a citizen of Nigeria, but you can remove my right to having a passport. The government, if I don't know, some Nigerians, if you are here on this life, you can go through your passport, international passport. It is there. It is not. It does not belong to you. It belongs to the federal government of Nigeria. And if they want to take it, they will take it back. If they feel they you don't need to, if they feel you are not, you don't want you to have it or you have done anything, they won't give you. That is it. And I think it's in almost all countries of the world. The passport does not belong to you. You can apply for it, but they have the right not to give you. But they can't say you're not a citizen. Okay, you are a citizen of that country. It's your right. You have right to speech, free speech. You have right to everything. You have right to so many things. But there's some things that they don't give you. That's an example I just told you, which is an international passport. It's a privilege. It is not your right. Your right. They can deny you of having it. So some of the rights that we are talking about is when you say right of a citizen of a country, like you have a right to be a citizen of a country, right of free speech, fundamental human rights, fundamental human rights where you have, what do you call it now? Normal fundamental human rights, right to religion, right to who you love and all that. So that is that one. It's casted there. Then privilege or right. So when you say right to vote can be lost if you are convicted of a crime and go to prison. So we all know that if even when you have the right to vote, if you are convicted, you have lost that right to be able to vote again. So that is to vote or be voted for. So that is for that one. So then privilege is international passport. It is a privilege. They can refuse you because it is not your right. They can decide to give you, they can decide not to give you. So that is for that. Then okay. Then the Home Office holding on a legal stand that granting sponsorship right to employers doesn't mean it can't be withdrawn if they have done something against the governing laws and policies. That's what is implied. So let us continue. So here it says individuals who apply for sponsored work visas are aware these visas do not provide a general right to work in the UK. Their visas are dependent on their sponsor, and they must recognize and accept this when they apply. If they stop working for their sponsor or their sponsor loses its license, the basis for them having that sponsored work visa falls away, just like anybody walks away. If a sponsor has their license revoked, their sponsored workers may have their permission to stay in the UK shortened. So they have 60 days remaining. They can use this period to find a new sponsor, switch to another immigration route if they are eligible to do so, or make arrangements to leave the UK. This is not deportation. It is simply an acknowledgement that their current basis for staying in the UK no longer applies and they must find another one if they wish to remain. They are welcome to do so. Labor mobility is an important part of the point-based system, and sponsored workers are free to find an alternative employment with a more suitable sponsor, provided they have valid permission to be in the UK and new sponsor is willing to be able to sponsor them. Now, what it simply means, let me just put the my local parents because I've formed it out, is UK is not your papa land. And home office is right telling all immigrants, including myself, I'm just writing it there so that I can even read what I'm trying to say. But I said, so long you are on a sponsor visa, either work or student visas, you are here on the back of the school or organization you work for. If that table break, just using it, if that table break, you have 60 days to follow another ladder, follow the ladder, follow the ladder. You have another 60 days to follow the ladder. Or if you know fit go forward, at least you go back now. If you can't go forward, you to go back to where you are coming from, where you are coming from. Although there are options to apply to other organizations for work, don't let fear drive you to lose faith in yourself and what you can do. Don't pie yourself. And this is straightforward now. Don't pie yourself because thinking of, when you feel, oh, what have you done? So many people have, done so many things to be able to get into the country and sold their property, done so many things. And they just tell you your this cancel the sponsorship of your COS or whatever. Some people might be frustrated. Some people might be frustrated. Some people might be frustrated, but like I always tell people around me, if someone like me, because some things I've done myself that are biting me, that are biting back, is enough to say, oh, okay, end this whole thing. But so long you know that you can start afresh, what's the worst that can happen? You start afresh now. Start afresh, get yourself together and move on. And the another thing is this, there are other companies you can apply to. You can apply based on skills, get some skills and apply for jobs. Keep applying. You will get, you might, that's the way people you can only know if you try. Get skills. I'm not saying only maybe the courses or training I offer. Go to any other organization, get training, look at search for jobs that are you know that are being posted every time. Search for jobs, available jobs that you can earn that 30,700 for the skilled worker visa. Apply for those jobs. Apply, get skills that will make you to apply for those jobs. And I'm telling you, you will get it. Set your mind. And again, worst case scenario, if anything happens also, what do you call this thing? You can start from anywhere. So what is the fear about? You are even alive. You are even alive. For you to be alive, it shows that you have so many things, something to offer. Some people are dead. Is it somebody that is already in the graveyard that can be arguing about, talking about, "Oh, my life has gone, my money is gone." So please, that's that part. I'm just going. So let us go continue to the response of the Home Office. When a sponsor worker is found to be complicit in the reasons for their sponsor's license verification, all of their remaining permission may be cancelled and they may be required to leave the UK immediately. Individuals are only deported in the legal sense of that term if they are convicted of a serious crime, cases of serious offense, or deportation is otherwise deemed conducive to the public good. This is just the part of when saying the 60 days, you might not have the 60 days if, for example, you are part of the people that are doing maybe committed the fraud or whatnot in the organization, and about that that made them to be able to cancel maybe the COS certificate of that sponsor. So if you are actively involved in that was when they won't even give you any latitude to even stay. But the moment you are not part, they still give you like 60 days, which is about 60 days, about 2 months. That's about 2 months to be able to get another sponsor to be able to support you, to be able to sponsor you and all that. So it is not a lost case. It is not a lost case. It is just for you to be able to look further. What role, what other aspect can I go into? What other jobs? And I say this with no sense of like pride. If you look well into within yourself, just look within yourself and say, what can I do? What can I do from where I am right now? You'll be surprised. There are so many things you can do. There are so many. If you want to still get other jobs, it's just for you to look at, okay, I want to get this job. What does it take me to get this job? What does it take me to be able to apply for this job? It's just like the way we all brought up. Some of us that went to, I mean, my primary school. I'm talking about primary school now. So you can't you can't get to your last year. in primary school or enter into a secondary school if you do not start your primary school. Like there's something you must do. And now that's what I'm talking about process now. There is a process. So a process means you have to know, okay, I'm going from this point to this point. What do I need? First, identify that area. Identify if that is what you want to do. And if the moment you have identified that this is the pathway I want to go for, then definitely by all means be ready to give what it takes. There's no shortcut. There are a couple of times that maybe I've seen myself, or maybe some of you can see that okay, you want to take some shortcut, still bites back at you. So the best way is, what does it take me? What will it take me to be able to get a job? What will it take me to get this type of job? Or what will it take me to be able to get this business and get it running? Like it is you. Think of it and be ready to give in what it takes, the work it takes. And you're very surprised. You will get it. You will get that you have set your mind to do. So it's just for me, this life is majorly about not losing faith. Like don't lose, don't lose faith. Don't lose faith on yourself. Like what can you so if you've cancelled it now, so what can you do? So are you saying regardless of if there's no option of being in the UK or or United Kingdom or like UK or anywhere you are you saying there are no other place you can live a good life in this life? Yes, you can use it. Yeah, Jenny's Park, we can use it to join. You can join, you can make friends. That's good, it's fine. But don't just let us lose, don't let us lose faith in ourselves. Make sure, please, that in anything you might be going through, ending it is not the best one. It's not doesn't solve this. It doesn't solve anything. So it doesn't. So that should be noted first. It doesn't resolve any issue. Because I remember when I was in I think I will say this. When I was in secondary school, I failed my first say I don't know if some people are here that are outside the country you don't know what I'm talking about. But my first what you call O levels, I failed it and I was going towards home breed. Like I said, maybe I will kill myself. A friend of mine that was also he also failed it, so he's also failed his own stuff first. So we and he was telling me what so if you kill yourself now, if you buy yourself, I don't want to use the word coin. If you buy yourself now, so won't you cause your parents now be looking for how to pick you up from the water after you have, buy and all that. And looking back now, that was 1990, that was 1997. So now just imagine, since 1997, some people are not even, I'm young, but I know some people are not born in 1997 and are married now. So what I'm trying to say is, just imagine that I buy myself 1997. I decided like because I felt oh the shame is too much. How will I do this? How will I do that? And I buy myself in 1997. Do you know how many things have happened? Do you know how many? I've, I became a father. I became so many things after 1997. So that means all those things I wouldn't have achieved everything. I wouldn't have been able to even do anything. 1997. But I'm very sure my parents could have forget. Not that they will forget me, but I'm sure they will. It will be like they will just remember that they had a child. They had a child one time like that. They would just be like that. Like they would know that I had a child. Sometime we had a child some time ago. Eh, because he failed his wife, he killed himself. He killed himself. 97. How many years is that, self? I don't even know. I know it's a long time. Let me even use my calculator to calculate. Okay, maybe see how many years is 1991 to now? 2024 minus 1997. Just hold on, please. I just want to be sure of. I want to know exactly because I know it. It seems like a long time ago. and it was 1997. You see, 27 years ago. Can you imagine? Somebody that they gave birth to somebody that they gave birth to in 1997 is already 27 years now. Some I am sure some people are already married with children now that are 27 years. I am so sure. So now look at my point is when you when you are faced with some sort of when you are faced with some sort of what do you call this setback. When you are faced with setback, it might be of your doing, it might not be of your doing. When you are faced with setback, the first thing to think about is what lesson am I going to learn from it? It seems like a motivational, but it's not a motivational talk. It is more of what what happened to me? What did I do wrong? Okay. Or did I not do anything wrong? Or what happened? Say, okay, this is what happened. What can I learn from this? And it might be a painful, it might be a painful process sometimes. But what have I done? Like some people going to divorce or anything. Like some people had in their mind a very bright, loving marriage in their mind, but they realize at the point in time, like it's not the way they planned it, and they will be, it will be out of shame. They don't want to even they can't even believe themselves that they are the ones thinking of a divorce. So what I'm just saying is whenever a setback comes, people and again people are always in a rush to always find say why me, what happened, why did it happen to me? But you never ask yourself if something good is happening to you. You never ask yourself why me? Why didn't you ask yourself like why is good thing happening to you? Why is everything working out for you? Nobody will ever ask. You don't ask. You don't even when something maybe you just apply for something, you get it. You don't worry. You don't think of it that why me? But it's only when the other side happens that's when you now think, why me? I see it as a wavelength sometimes for us to be able to learn about life and also about ourselves. Because there are some things that I got to know out of my own mistakes. There are some things I got to know about myself that I have to run away from. I have to guide myself. I'm not even true. I'm not saying my life is perfect. But I'm not like there's some things I from my own challenges, from my own mistakes, I realized that okay, I need to work on this. I get to be messed up with this. You will know and you make changes in your life. And you also okay, this is where I am. And being truthful to yourself is a major thing. Because if you're not truthful to yourself, being able to know that, oh, this is who I am, and this is something that these are things that doesn't work for me, these are the things that work for me. My brother, my sister, you have not started living. You have not started living. You will be so conscious, even to know it first. You might not do them, but at least you know that these are the things I that works for me. These are the things that doesn't work for me. You will know. The Yorubas they call it Orienu. The Igbos, my people, my in-laws, they call it your chi. I don't know what other countries call it. You have your own thing. Not that when I say my Igbos, my in-laws, it's because I'm not married to an Igbo person. It's just more of saying I just love the Igbo people. So, but the thing is, um, you must know what works for you. You will know it. Some people, you know that. Okay, let me give an example of myself now. I know I've noticed over time that I, I kind of I kind of get lucky with jobs. When I say jobs, I mean like I'm not the brightest, and I'm not saying I'm the dumbest. No, I'm just saying like I know I'm not the brightest. I know, you know yourself now. You know you're not the brightest. You know, but I know that that if I apply for jobs and I set my mind to it, I get those jobs. Like it's not now. I'm not even talking about this. I'm talking about even way back. Like there's some things that are places I apply for, I apply to work, Before you just realize that something will happen to connect to this and connect to that. I know this, that somebody will connect, and I'll be in that place. So I've noticed, and I've also noticed something that does not work for me. I'm not a good money manager. I'm not, like, I know. So, and that's why I have started. When I knew the best thing is set yourself away from anything that has to do with money as much as possible. Still fought out for some time, but I just like that part. Let somebody else be managing the money for you. So you know yourself. You know the things that work for you. You know the something that does not work for you, and that is where uh, being truthful to yourself comes to play. But my point again, over and again, that I think I want to put out there is when a setback comes, learn from it. There is something to learn from it. And when you learn from that setback, what do you do? That is okay. I am here now. Okay, okay. For any reason, I'm back to Nigeria, and I said, okay, what next is? What next can I do? And the next thing is, okay, I like fish farming. Can I start to go into fish farming? Can I start go out there, meet people, get a place to put my head on my family or whatnot? Just start doing something. And in your silent moment, do the prayers. I mean, like when I say prayer, not like you might not believe in anything, just but at least you know that there's a creator. So just pray and be open and say, this is where I am. Help me. Just help me with this way of life. Help me, just guide me. And I'm telling you, it seems like don't I'm not saying any religion now. Like your creator, you have someone that or something that created you now. Just talk and you will realize it will come to you. It will come, it will guide you. So the worst you can do to yourself or to anything now is to think of at any point in time, not only about people that are maybe that are losing the sponsorship or going home and all that. It is for you to know that at this point in time, I can still do this. Like I am alive. That's the first thing. You are alive. Obviously, it is not dead people that are on this level that I'm seeing now. It's not dead people. So what means now you are alive? What next can you do? And the major thing is if you have just 20, if you have 60 days, like we have read, if you have 60 days, what can you do in 60 days? Okay, thanks for following. So what can you do? What can you do in 60 days? And which is look for jobs or other places you can apply to. Other places you can apply to and get to like keep applying. There's no harm applying to any place. There's no harm. Like when I look at this thing, eh, there's no harm applying for other jobs. And there's no harm taking up some quick courses online, quick courses like people that can guide you through to be able to get to learn some of these skills. And like I'm still saying it, it's not deliberate that you must follow Depth Technologies or the company that organize that advertise and organize training. It's not compulsory that you must follow. I'm saying it generic now. Like you can look for a place that you can earn, you can get skills and apply for these roles. You'll be surprised because you are prepared, your mind is prepared, everything is prepared. We work for you are ready to study and learn. You will get it. So please don't lose faith. There are so many things going around. You see people, even the rich, the poor, everybody's having cancer. You're not even happy. You're not even happy. Some of you are not even happy that you don't have cancer. You don't even know what is cancer. When I was during my undergraduate, during my master's program, I work in a care home, and I saw like that was you know, and I saw some people that you have to care for. If you see some people that have terminal diseases, young people, talking about young people, not only elderly people, young people maybe around 30 years, um, 25, that have cancer, 18 years, yes, that have cancer. You don't have cancer. You are not even taking any form of morphine. I said that I don't want to digress to that health side now because if I digress to that side, for you to be able to just breathe normally, some don't even know. And that's why sometimes I think it's good for everybody to go through a care system, like go to care, like go to care. When I say care, like see, go to hospital, like it might not be a carer, like just let people show you through the hospital, like people that are wealthy, that don't have good health, they are wealthy. When I say wealthy, like they are rich, billionaires, they don't have good health, that they are in pains. You with your £1, abi £1, abi $1 in your account, you have the best health in the world. Like you eat anything, you can eat anything, you can drink anything, and you are and you think you are disadvantaged. You've not heard of people that they are always on oxygen. You've not heard of people that they are always taking tablets. And I'm not saying those people also they can still live the best of their lives. But I'm just saying you still have a some sort of avenue for you to even play. You can go around, you can move around when you want to move around. You can just stand up today and just say, "Oh, I want to stand up. I want to go to the toilet by yourself." By yourself. You can stand up and just go to the toilet by yourself without needing assistance or help. I just hope and pray none of us will get to that point when you realize that you are taking so many things for granted. And that is why saying when I say taking things for granted, even yourself, even ourselves, taking ourselves for granted. Because it is because we are taking ourselves for granted that we don't really look at for making the best use of our life and our skills. Because if you don't take yourself for granted, you will realize that you have so much that you can give. There are so many things you can do because you are alive, because you are human. There are so many things you can do. There are so many things you can do with your time. There are so many people you can touch by being human. I don't want to use the word kind because it should be human to be kind. There are so many things you can do. So please, it's more of don't underrate yourself. Don't cut yourself short because you are looking at yourself and just say, "What can I do? What can I do?" I can tell you. Okay, now let me even say this. Some people mention some what do you call this? Some schools. When I finished, I said earlier that I wanted to go and apply myself because I failed WAEC. But but after that, I had so many issues. I mean, school. Oh. I think the first school I went to, and the reason why I'm saying this, I want to say it so that people understand why. The reason why I'm saying this is I want to encourage some people here today. I think the first school I got admission into, the first school was Irepoli. So people now will be like, is it? Irepoli was the first place I got an admission to. My dad just came one day, just said, no more people. I never heard of that place before, ever in my life. Never heard of it. Just said Irepoli. I'm going to be doing N2. I got to the school. At first, I was like, hmm. First, when at first when your other mates, your classmates are already like gone to uh, University of Benin, Babalowo University, Unilag, Kayode, Kayode already in Unilag then. It's not a polio. I was like, what? I got there. It was like shout out to everybody that went to Repo. I know some people will not even know me because I didn't spend more than 2 months in that school. Some people will not know me. Even the people in my class will not know me. The only people that I think can know me, if I'm the way I'm just saying, the only people that can know me are the people that stayed in their house. There's this lady, is it Ronke or what her name? Then Kunle. Kunle was more like my mentor. He was in ND2. But I mean, like, no, no, I did, I, like, because I couldn't deal. When I say deal, like, I was like, you will speak. I spoke English to some people. I was like, what's in saying? Sorry for people that don't understand. So say saying, say. I was like, so it is it's wrong now to speak. It's wrong now to speak English. I was like, "Oh, okay. So my point is, that was the first place I got to. I was like, no, I can't continue here. What did I do? There was a friend of mine. He went to secondary school. He was in Uniben. He lives in Benin, Okonofua. He's dead now. It's gone. It's quiet. They are quiet now. Due to court issues and all that. When he went for his masters. So now, rest his soul. God bless it. God rest his soul. So the thing is, now I called. I had to get it, and during that period, it's not mobile phone. Though. I had to use this Nitel call this thing. Called him because the house I was working to just get across because we exchanged numbers when um when we left school. Called him and I said, Dad, and I want to come. He said, yeah, you have to have your jam. I said, I don't have jam. But now, he said, yeah, there's something we call, I think it's either see, like a diploma in computer engineering. I said, I will come. I said, I will do it. I said, I prefer that one than to be in this Repoli. Shout out to everybody in Repoli. I'm not saying people that don't go to Repoli is not didn't go to school. I'm just saying, and I'm just saying me. I was shocked because I was asking somebody for direction, speaking English. I think I was in the school environment. Somebody was saying, "He didn't say Igbo. He didn't say Igbo to me." I was like, so I shouldn't speak English to you. That was one of the things I was killing my mind. I was like, no, 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 no. So now, got across with that guy. What I'm trying, my point is, I kept looking for ways to get the best of education. Hmm. And this, look at it. Uniben wasted so much time, went through issues, do a lot of things, left uni, like my life was like at the point I just realized I said I had to admit. I said I have lost 10 years of my life. Like I had to agree. My younger sister already finished school then. I was still gallivanting all around the place. I had to agree. I said, you know what? I have lost 10 years of my life. So where should I start from next? And that's why some of it's like some things, some people, the best set of people that can live, and like they can live the best of their life is people that know that they can start from zero. Like you know in your mind that yes, I can start from zero so long I'm not dead. If I die, of course, then go. Everybody will die one day. You quite one. I don't want to be using this word. So I mean, like, so it is for you to be able to get to that point to know that you know what I can start afresh. I can start again, and I started again. And at this time, so many, when you take so many of my classmates, like so many of them already finished school, some already working now. Somebody already started working. It's 2002. Some I think I dated one of my classmates that finished serving 2002. 2002, I was like, I said 10 years. I've already so people were already gone. I was already actually, my younger sister already started, like everybody started, everybody don't work. And I'm still there strolling like around. But it was because I had to sit down myself down and say, you know what? What's the solution? What's the solution to make like I'm just all around there. Start afresh. And I started afresh. Started school again, went to Dry Jam again, went through so many other places. And at the end of the day, 2000, as of today, I have a master's degree from a university in the United Kingdom. But what am I saying? My point is still the same thing that I'm still trying to put to people that wherever you are, you can still start from there. Whatever you see your hand doing, you find your hand doing, you can still make the best out of it. Regardless of the mistakes, regardless of the things, regardless of the setbacks you might have, you can still make do with what you have. You can still make the best out of your life. You can still make the best out of every situation. It is not like as of today, as of today, I'm not saying like I keep saying I'm not saying that my life is perfect, but as of today, I can tell you in the organization I work, I'm trying not to let out so many things. We are on the social media and all this stuff. But at the organization I work, it's a major organization in the UK, and I'm a deputy IT manager. So, but now look at it. If I have, if I had by myself 1997 because I failed WAEC, just imagine if I buy myself 1997 that I couldn't bear it. I couldn't bear this. I failed WAEC. I didn't even have a credit. Even geography, I didn't have a credit. And I could and I find myself in that river by myself. 1997, that's 27 years ago. Because I calculated now. 27 years ago. Will I be here now today? Will I be here? As a matter of fact, there was no internet like this that time. Internet came around that I know of came around 1999. So that means I won't even know all these things. I won't even know. I won't even have children. I won't even have anything. I won't even have the feeling. I won't have anything. You know, just just go like that. Because of what? Because of a certain moment in time that looks like a setback to you. So please don't lose faith. Keep looking to the skies. Like look up. So many things that happen on your way to anywhere you might have. Hmm, something is coming to my mind. You might have maybe children or anybody you are caring for that you feel okay. My child is not like this. My child is not having the necessary growth. My child is not the. And I tell you clearly, some people don't even have children. And I'm saying this because I know there was in my secondary school, there was a family. I won't mention the name. There was a family, husband and wife, never had children. They should be clearly in their 70s now. I saw them around, around 2008, and they were well old then. They never had children. And I'm not saying that if you don't have children, that means you can't live a good life. No, I'm just saying that if you love to have children, and that does not mean you have like that does not mean you have them. It doesn't mean that because you want them, you have them. But if you have children, you should be able to care for them and appreciate that privilege to have them, even if they are what you call children with uh, maybe that need some sort of level of assistance or support. It might be draining, but see through it also. It's yeah, yeah I can tell you, yeah, and the people I say it's easier said than done, but you have to make do with what you have. You have to make do with what you have. It's difficult. It's hard work sometimes. So, like I said, I don't want to give out so many, but you just have to create happiness wherever you are. Make sure you find a spot where you can go to and just be yourself. Sometimes you just be yourself. Go to maybe a park or wherever. Just sit down and examine the. Might not have the time. Maybe sometime in some part of the world, it always dark, always always depressing, even the weather is depressing. But it's just that look for times that you can just look to the brighter side of life. It's not it's not as bad as you think. It's not as bad as uh it's not as bad as what people always say mistake and say yeah yeah yeah. It's not. So now 27 years, look at it, 27 years ago. I am sure some people have children that are not they're already giving birth now. I mean like they're done, married. Some are, yeah, some can be 25 years and you have children. So it is just that part of me tonight that's saying I just read this response from the for on this what do you call this petition that was to like okay people that lost that their sponsor lost their license and they have to okay they revoke their COS. So they just have only 2 months, 60 days to go back, that to go back or get another. And I'm just saying it. If for any reason you fall within this part, you fall within this, you can reach out to me and we're going to give you, so long you fall within this, we're going to give you a free training on any of the selected pathways that you want to. A free training. You can go to my, what do you call it? The minimum, as a student, the minimum we even charge is £350 for the training. But if you fall within this part of people that are told that they have revoked their COS and they are to go home, for any pathway that you want to go for, it's going to be free. And we're going to try it as much as possible to start applying for places for you to be able to help you to get some jobs. You might be the one to help you to get it. You might get it from any other place. You might get it just for you to just keep your options open, and you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. You might just get any of these jobs, and you'll be fine. So, but the thing is, don't lose faith in yourself. Don't lose faith on where you've been. Still the same view. You get over it. This will be something. Okay, look at it. Can you beat it? I'm talking now today about 20 something that happened 27 years ago. Like I'm looking back and I'm smiling. So that means you also can be looking back at this same time, 2024, right? 10th of April, 2024, 8:15 p.m. You might be looking back and be saying, "Oh, that's true. That time I was thinking about this, that this UK people did this." You can in time. Okay? You can. Maybe another 27 years ago, 27 years before, like you just be looking, oh, that's true. That period. So don't lose faith. And it's just one of those things. And like I said, nobody asks how does good things happen to you. You never ask. You don't ask. You don't ask. You think you always deserve a good thing. I'm not saying we don't deserve good things. I'm just saying that when things happen, learn from them or look at how you can get from another point, learn from it, get from this point to another point. Like look for where you go, look for the lessons. If it is something you did and you messed up, and that's happens to the best of us, happens to me. You learn from it. How else can I manage it? How else can I be better? Yeah, can I be a better person from this experience? And you get it. We get better at each point. You fall down, you wake up. You will fall down, stand up. You miss some chances in life. You find a way to get up again. And also don't be proud. Some things that people use is because they are proud. I was a very fussy person before. Very, like, when I say fussy, like if I didn't go through, I didn't find the option or the thing that made me to get into care. Like when I first came for my masters, I might be something else. Oh. But that thing humbled me and made me to see the reality of life. Life, we are feeble. If just one organ stop working effectively in our body, maybe the kidney or any other organ stop just working, just What am I saying? If you stop working for 10 minutes, if you will see the way you will, any one of us will look, you will look like so what's happening? You'll be dying. Just one organ. So that's for you to know that this life also is like comes. You're here in a moment, the next moment you're gone. So make the best out of life. The option that we are alive. Make the best. Thank you, Face, for sharing the life. Make the best out of this life, out of the life you have. You don't you it's not more like you uh, like I don't know. It's not the right. It's not like we all have the right to say okay, we deserve to be alive. Some people were giving birth to in the same day I was giving birth to and they died. Even you. Some people were died. Some people died the day you were born. And you won't say maybe they were the one that caused the maybe the issues of maybe of the country or something. They are babies. They don't even know. They hardly don't know anything. They don't. They just come in. So they've not really done anything. So they've not stolen your money. They've not done anything to deserve to go now. So So but for us to be here, let's make the best out of it. Let's see ourselves as who we are, the infinite abilities that we can achieve, like from our body, like what we can do. Let's put our mind to it. And like I said, it's open. If you are among the people that have been given the 60 days, mandatory days to go, just reach out to us, reach out to me. We'll give you free training, expedited training, and free of charge, and also help you with your CV and all your any other references you may need. So that's all I have to say today. Thank you so much for people that are joining. Thank you for people that shared. Thank you for people that double tapped. Thank you for everybody that just joined. And like I was saying, we can do more than what we are doing right now. We can do more than where we are. Don't look down yourself. People are always angry when they say, "So this person look down on me," but you already look down. You're looking down on yourself when you don't see yourself as being like, able to aspire to a particular career or aspire to a particular way of life. You are looking down on yourself. So you should be angry at yourself. You should be furious at yourself when you look down at yourself because it is degrading, it is disgusting to look down on yourself. You should be the one pulling yourself up, not you pulling yourself down. Alright? When you're not the one pulling down yourself, why? You should be the one getting and working to pull yourself up. So please, thank you so much. And like I said, if you are part of those people, reach out to us, and I'll ensure the team gives you a free pass on that. Thank you, and bye bye.